Day day 24. Day 24. It's day 24. Okay, let me open Gemini first. Let me open Gemini first. I will open Gemini first. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Uh, I actually don't feel like why I say we don't feel like I actually don't really want to read the script again because I only have the script of yesterday, which means the day 22, 23. So let me find I will find the maybe try with the forward that I write about a book for a book. That was a yeah. Forward, yeah, forward. Forward. Ca dao is a form of Vietnamese. Ca dao is a form of Vietnamese folk poetry passed down through oral tradition. For generations, it has been part of everyday life, spoken, sung, and remembered rather than reading emphasis. Through these short verses, people express express personal feelings, share life experiences, and shape a sense of beauty close and shape a sense of beauty and shape it a sense of beauty. Oh my god, I'm so annoying. I'm so annoying. And shape it a sense of beauty slowly tied to daily living. Slowly, closely, closely tied to daily living. Vietnamese adapted to Ca Dao for poetry, explore Ca Dao from this cultural depth, rather than approaching it as abstract theory. The book follows how aesthetic value naturally immersed in folk life. It looks at familiar landscape, daily labor, and simple acts of praise and judgment, as well as how people express affection, restraint, and emotional closeness. Written in a clear and accessible style, the book welcomes a wide range of readers and does not require prior academic training to follow its ideas. Ca Dao grew out of local village life and shared cultural experience. Ca Dao grew out of local village life and shares cultural experience. Its language is closely connected. Its, its language is closely connected to custom, social values, and historical circumstances. For this reason, understanding a Ca Dao verse often involves than grasp, more than grasping the literal meaning of its words. It also requires some awareness of the world in which the verse was created and passed on. Most Vietnamese Ca Dao is composed in the lục bát form, a traditional a 6-syllable rhythm. This rhythm relies on regular repetition and was designed for listening and memory rather than silent reading. Even readers who do not understand Vietnamese may Notice this steady pattern when looking at the original verses. The look-back rhythm plays a essential role in the shaping the emotional tone and musical quality of Kayao. Yes, it in yes it is difficult to fully re- reproduce. Uh, yes, it is difficult to fully reproduce, revo, reproduced in English, a language that does not operate to tonal patterns in the same way. In the same way, in this translation, the original Vietnamese Kayao is presented alongside the English version. This layout preserves the reserves This layout reserves the essence of the original form while making the content accessible to non-Vietnamese readers. Translating Kayao often involves careful choices between reserving meaning and suggesting rhythm. In this edition, priority is given to meaning, image, imagery, imagery, im, image, imagery, and cultural spirit. Attempt to recreate, recreate, attempt to recreate syllabic rhythm are made only when they do not com- compromise the core sense of the verses. This forward is not meant to replace direct engagement with the text, but to serve as a point of entry. It is our hope that through this translation, the study is present international readers may encounter Kaya not simply as folk poetry, but as a window into but as a window into how Vietnamese people have understand beauty, life, and the world around them. Oh shit! Kayao is more than folk poetry passed down through song rather than text. These short words had carried Vietnamese life in memory and feeling across generations within their simple image. Shit! You damn idiot! You can fucking go now, image. Oh shit! Pronunciation, Jesus. Image, 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 like the Kayao is more than folk poetry, passed down through song rather than text. These short verses have carried Vietnamese life, memories, and feeling across generations. Within their simple image lie enduring ideas of beauty, love, and human character. Vietnamese aesthetics through Kayao folk poetry offers an intimate and accessible entry into this tradition. Rooted in regional folk collection and foundation studies, the book explores how aesthetic value grow from daily labor, village community, and shared experience. It reveals a form of cultural wisdom shaped in restraint, humility, and communal life. Written for both Written for both general readers and researchers, the book serves the book serves as an introduction as well as a references. Original Vietnamese Kayao verses appear alongside in English. Original Vietnamese Kayao verses appear alongside English translation, allowing 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 readers to encounter meaning and form together and to begin a deeper engagement with Kayao as a living cultural tradition. As a living cultural tradition. Now, again, Kayao is a form of Vietnamese folk poetry passed down through tradition. Oral tradition. Oral tradition. Kayao is a form of Vietnamese folk poetry passed down through oral tradition for generations. It has been part of everyday life, spoken, sung, and remembered rather than written emphasis. Through these soft verses, people express personal feelings, share life experience, and shape a sense of beauty closely tied to daily living. Vietnamese artists through Kayao for poetry explores Kayao from this cultural depth, rather than approaching it as an abstract theory. Rather than approaching it as an abstract theory, the book follows how aesthetic value natural, how aesthetic The book follows how aesthetic value naturally emerge in folk life. It looks at familiar landscape, daily labor and simply acts of race and judgment, as well as how people express affection, restraint, and emotional closeness. Reading in a clear and Reading in a clear and accessible style, the book welcomes a wide range of readers and does not require prior academic training to follow its ideas. Kayao grew out of local village life and shared cultural experiences. Its language is closely connected to custom, social value, connected to custom, social values, and historical circumstances. For this reason, understanding Kayao verses often involve more than grasping the literature. Often involves more than grasping the the literal meaning of its words. Its works. Its works. It also requires some awareness of the world. It also requires some awareness of the world in which the verse was created and passed on. Most Vietnamese Kayao is composed in look-back form, a traditional 6-8 syllable rhythm. This rhythm relies on regular repetition and was designed for listening and memory rather than silent reading. Even readers who do not understand Vietnamese may notice this steady pattern when looking at the original verses. The look-back rhythm plays an essential role in shaping the emotional tone and musical quality of Kayao. Yet it is difficult to fully reproduce in English, a language that does not operate through tonal pattern in the same way. Its translation, the original Vietnamese Kayao, is presented alongside the English version. This layout preserves the presence of the original form while making the content accessible to non-Vietnamese readers. Translating Kayao often involves careful choices between reserving meaning and suggesting rhythm. In this edition, priority is given to meaning, imagery, and cultural spirit. Attempt to recreate syllabic rhythm are made only when they do not compromise the core sense of the verses. This form is not meant to replace direct engagement with the text, but to serve as a point of entry. It is our hope that through this translation and the study it presents, international reader may encounter Kayao not simply as a folk poetry, but as but as a window into Vietnamese people have understand have have understood beauty, life, and the world around them. Yeah. So many Savella. Oh God. I'm tired. Oh no, actually I'm not tired. I'm just saying that because I got no word. I got no other word to say. 15 minutes? That's all? Also, by the way, it's about a book that I and my mm, the author I mentioned yesterday in the last videos. Yes, it's him. I and him working together to on this translation book. Yeah, that's all. Okay, that's all for today. Bye bye.